Hey guys, what's up? Winghost here. So this is a little different. I'm making a Barb video. Holy shit, right? I've been making all these monk videos. Well, I finally got rid of my monk actually, and opted for a Whirlwind Barb. And the reason why is because they farm so much faster. It's just ridiculous. I can't believe that they are. I don't think they're going to nerf it in 1.0.4. But anyways, I want to make a quick video explaining to you guys exactly how it works, because it is kind of complicated. It really is, but it's really cool at the same time. It's just really different style of gameplay. So I want to start with like what I'm wearing and stuff, just really quickly. This is probably a little bit more resist than you need, like 584ish. So when I buff, I go up to like 877. Decent, I guess. I also try to get a lot of armor. I try to get plus armor on like chest and pants and stuff. But yeah, just standard stuff. Strength, vitality, all resist, blah blah blah. You need crit. I've got 47.5 crit. That's after like ruthless and stuff. You don't need quite that much, but you need at least like 30% for the build to work, and I'll explain why. And then for weapons, you can have a low damage offhands that has a lot of like life on hit or strength or crit damage, whatever it is you want, and then you want a high damage main hand, and I'll explain why for that as well. Okay, now let's start on the skills. Right now, your main attack, your Fury Generator, doesn't really matter what you choose, to be honest, because you're not going to be using it that much. Most people, I think, use Frenzy. I go for Bash just to I take Instigation just to make as much. Can't talk. Just to generate as much fury as possible, because I only use it when I'm out of fury and I need fury. I need to hit something to get fury, right? Okay, so then, of course, you're going to use Impunity because it's awesome, and you're going to use Battle Rage with Into the Fray. Into the Fray makes it so that critical hits have a chance to generate extra fury. That's kind of the bread and butter of this build, so that whenever you crit, you generate a ridiculous amount of fury, so you're going to be dropping whirlwinds all over the place, and you just have ridiculous amounts of fury. And so this is like the point of the build. So you have to keep Battle Rage up, and of course your War Cry as well at all times. And then you've got Whirlwinds. You're going to use Hurricane to allow you to move at full speed so that you can keep dropping Whirlwinds while you're doing it. And then you've got Sprint, which is your attack, actually, because it drops the tornadoes. Now, for your last one, you can choose a lot of different things. I go for the Infinite Wrath build, which is using Wrath of the Berserker with Thrive on Chaos, so that you extend the duration when you gain Fury. It's really stressful, honestly, to play, because you're running around like, oh my god, where's an enemy? Where's an enemy? I'm going to lose my Wrath. But it's really fun. I don't know. I like it a lot, and of course you are immune to all CC and stuff. But you don't have to do that. You can also take like Overpower. There's a rune for Overpower my friend uses that makes it so if you stand in bad, it heals you. So that's obviously useful. And you can take a variety of other things as well. It's really just these 5 skills right here. Well, this is not really required, but these 3 and the Whirlwinds, those are pretty required. Now, as for my main hand, there's really 2 different choices for main hand. You can either go Mace or Axe, because Weapon Master will then give you 10% crit, or you can go for a Mighty Weapon and then take Weapon Master as well, and it'll give you extra Fury per hit. And the reason I take the extra Fury per hit is because it's easier to keep Wrath up. But if you're not using Infinite Wrath, you should definitely go for Axe or Mace for extra damage. And as you see, I'm taking Tough as Nails for some armor, and then I'm taking Ruthless. We've got some damage, some defensive. So now I'm going to show you guys what happens when you play this. I'm going to try to explain it step by step, even though it's pretty complicated. Well, at first it is. So you want to keep War Cry and Battle Rage up at all times, right? Then you go find some enemies. First you need some Fury. I don't have any Fury, so I'm just going to hit them a couple times. And then you can just start using Sprint and running. Now this is what I do when I'm looking for an elite. You just run through everything, and it'll heal you as you run, and it'll give you Fury as you run. So you just keep using Sprint, Whirlwind if you need to, and just run. Right? It's awesome. Now, I'm going to hope I find an elite really quickly, so that I can show you guys how that works. So as you see, I'm using my War Cry, my Battle Shout, and stuff to keep them up. And here we go. Here's an elite. So what I'm going to do is I'm keep using sprints every couple of seconds, and I'm just whirlwinding in circles. And I'm sorry for the lag. My computer sucks. But yeah, I'm just whirlwinding in circles around these guys. And the reason that I whirlwind in circles is so that the tornadoes that I'm dropping stack up on top of them. So that multiple tornadoes, I've got like 5 tornadoes or whatever on top of the same guy hitting him. So it's a ridiculous amount of numbers that you see on the screen. It's pretty cool. Now, what I can also do is I can pop Wrath, which of course is awesome. any barbarian's going to know what Wrath does. It's amazing, right? But the point is, with this build, I generate so much fury. Look at the timer on the bottom for Wrath. It's still full, right? So you just want to keep Wrath going as long as you possibly can. And with the mighty weapon thing, with the fury on critical hits, and with just your normal attacking, you can easily keep it up for minutes at a time if you have enough enemies, which is really cool. See, now it's starting to run out. I hit a dead end. Go, go, go. See what I mean? It's a little bit stressful. But, you know, you just run into some enemies, hit them, or you really don't have to hit them. You just whirlwind around through them and keep going. And you'll just stay at max fury and you'll keep it up. Got a frenzy shrine. This is going to be insane. Watch this. There's arcane sentries everywhere. I hope I don't die. I'm going like 3 frames per second or something. This is really bad, but so the key is sort of, you can't run out of fury because fury allows you to do what you need to do, right? You can't whirlwind around without fury. You can't use sprint without fury. But when you're at max fury, if you're using the Wrath build, sorry. The Wrath build relies on fury gained, right? But if you are at max fury, it doesn't count as fury gained. So the key is you have to keep using your fury, but you can't let yourself run out. So it's a little bit to get used to, but if you try it for a couple of days, you'll get used to it pretty quickly, and it's really, really fun running around that fast. And also, the reason that I like the Wrath build so much is because what really kills this build is CC, right? I mean, if you can't control where you're going, or better yet, if you can't even move, like you're jailed or something, or frozen, I mean, you're screwed. I mean, that's kind of the point of this, is you have to keep moving and keep dropping those tornadoes. Otherwise, you don't lifesteal, you don't do damage. So I love taking Wrath, because then I don't even have to worry about that. It just solves all my problems, right? So that's sort of how this works. It's a little bit expensive to buy into because you need to have all that crit, and you need to have resist and stuff, or you're not going to survive. Also, the reason that you want to get a high damage main hand is, I'm sure you guys maybe have watched Kriparian's videos or looked up online, the damage of the tornadoes is based solely off your main hand. Just your main hand. Your DPS actually doesn't tell you much for this build. It really doesn't, because it's not what affects the damage of your tornadoes. So you want to have as high damage a main hand as possible, and also what's important too is the actual damage of the weapon, not the DPS of the weapon. So it says under the 970, right? It says 535 to 958. That's what's important. So actually, you kind of want a slower weapon, because it'll actually have more damage, and that'll affect your tornadoes. Then you want to get a high attack speed offhand to offset that. Yeah. So best of luck with your Whirlwind Barbs if you guys choose to make one. Also, last comment, the reason I decided to go Whirlwind Barb over Monk, as I said, they farm so much faster, and the reason, it's not because they're so much more survivable, it's not because their DPS is crazy, although it is pretty good, it's really because they run so damn fast. The entire game, you're running on like, what is it, like 40% movement speed from sprint, and like 60% or something from Wrath, I don't even know what it is, but the point is you're running so fast, monks can't even compete. I don't know if any other class can compete. Maybe like a demon hunter vaulting constantly or something, I don't even know. But that's why they're so good. It's just that you can keep running so fast, and you can find elites so quickly. So, yeah. Best of luck to you guys. See ya.